ESPNU College Football, presented by Citi, comes to Jackson, Tennessee at Rock Stadium for an SIAC matchup as the Dragons of Lane College host the Tigers of Morehouse College. Hello, everyone. I'm Charlie Neal, and I'd like to welcome you to Jackson, Tennessee. You know, the bus ride from Atlanta, Georgia to Jackson, Tennessee for the Morehouse Tigers was about a 6-hour ride, where the ride home will be a whole lot shorter if they can come away with a victory today. They come into today's game with a 1-1 record, losing a week ago by just 1 point. They also have a new coach, and Rich Freeman, who was the defensive coordinator here at Lane the last 2 seasons. He comes in with a philosophy. He wants his team to play fast, he wants them to play hard, and he wants them to play smart. They're going to have to do all three if they're going to beat Lane College today. Lane College scored 54 points in their season opener. And for more on Lane, let me go to my partner, Jay Walker.
Thank you, Charlie. Last season, head coach Johnny Cole instilled the fire back in the Dragon by leading Lane to a surprising 8-3 overall record. This year, the task will be much harder without the services of all-world wide receiver Jacoby Jones, who's currently with the Houston Texans in the NFL. Look for head coach Cole to look to replace Jones' production by wide receiver by committee, with senior Virgil Union being the best of the bunch. Now, since this is our first time here to Jackson, Tennessee, we thought it only right that we introduce you to the host for the weekend, Lane College president, Dr. Wesley McClure.
Hello, I'm Wesley Cornelius McClure, president of Lane College, and I'm so happy, honored, and excited to have ESPNU come to Lane College in Jackson, Tennessee to cover a great football contest. And now here's Charlie Neal and Jay Walker to give you the real game of the century.
Well, thank you, Dr. McClure. So happy to be here in Jackson, Tennessee. Overcast day as you look at Johnny Cole, the head coach of the Dragons of Lane College, in his 3rd year with an overall record of 19-13. This is actually his 3rd season. He was 0-10 his first year, so we'd like to forget about it, and so would he. He would like to talk about last year, in which he went 8-3, and then, of course, they're 1-0 coming in to today's ball game. On the other side of the field is the former defensive coordinator here at Lane. He was here for a couple of years, and it's Coach Rich Freeman in his 1st year as the head coach in Atlanta on the campus of Morehouse College, and done a pretty good job. They're 1-1 coming into today's ball game, lost by just a point a week ago to Fort Valley.
Yeah, he's hoping he can emulate what Coach Cole was able to do here at Lane College. Sneak up on some folks, build a program with tradition, and win some football games right away. And they're off to a great start down there with a 500 record, but they've been competitive in each of those contests.
Ulysses Perry, number 31, and you're looking at number 10 there, Terrell Walden, transfer from the University of Miami, who's already graduated. Here the deep men for Lane College. They're in their their red jerseys, the white jerseys being worn by the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse College. Michael Strife actually, will kick it off, and it'll come down to Walden at about the 21-yard line, and Walden finally up to the 35, and that's where Lane College will go to work. 1st down and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Lane College will be led by their quarterback, Sherrard Ellis, who's a preseason first-team All-SIAC selection coming into the season. He's a junior out of Missouri City, Texas. Went to Willow Ridge High down in Missouri City. Last year, he led the team in rushing with 443 yards and 10 touchdowns. So he can get it done both in the air and on the ground. On 1st down and 10, we've got motion. The up back moving a little prematurely. That's Wesley Middleton, the fullback. Our referee today, Ken Allen. He's busy already.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 32 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Let's check out Dick's Sporting Goods starting lineup for Lane College. Martinier, here are the backs and receivers. Marcus Adams and Edward Strickland are the backs. Virgil Union had 6 receptions in their only game, and he's a transfer from Pine Bluff. And there you see the offensive line. Martinier, 6'6", 290. Back to pass is Ellis on 1st down, going on the deep post. Has a man out there, Virgil Union, and it's too big for him. He just cannot pull it in. Covered downfield by Brandon Morgan. They say he's the best cover guy on that defense as far as the secondary is concerned. Let's check out the Morehouse Dick's Sporting Goods starting lineup for the defensive line. James Pruitt, Jackson, and Mario Lane, a transfer from Alabama State. The linebackers, Cunningham is a returning starter. As far as the secondary is concerned, Morgan, just 5'9". We just talked about him, but they say he's the best cover guy along with Harper, Scott, and Roberts, rounding out the secondary for Morehouse College. It is 2nd down and 10. And here's the pitch. Coming around the left side, Adams, and Adams struggles across the 37 to about the 38-yard line before he's brought down. Stop made defensively. I believe it was Roberts on the stop defensively.
And what you saw there was a quick burst from Marcus Adams. The coaching staff at Lane College is excited about him. They say he's one of the best all-around athletes on the team, and he's a very exciting and explosive runner.
Gain of 3, 2nd down, and 3rd down, rather, and 7. Gerard Ellis. Receivers off to the right side. In the slot to the right. They have Orlando Rawls. Ellis with time. Here's a screen, and the receiver falls down.
No, that should be a penalty.
He's looking for a flag, and he said he was held. And no flag from the officials. Let's look at it once again.
Wow, I mean, he just tackled the wide receiver. He flanked out, so that was actually a tight end screen. They had Robert Smith line up at the tight end, and he started running away, and look at that. How do you not call that right there? That was a holding all the way. That was a blatant tackle, and Lane's unfortunate not getting the benefit of the penalty.
So to come on to punt it away is Sean Gutierrez, senior from Oakland Park, Florida. Wendell Olden, the deep man, to return it for Morehouse College. This is the first punt this year for Gutierrez. Did not punt in their season opener against Lincoln University. And bouncing along the sideline and stepping out of bounds is Wendell Olden. That's his 4th punt return for the season. And so now we'll get a chance to see the offense of the Tigers of Morehouse, who were 3-8 a year ago, 2-5 in the conference, and were picked in the preseason polls to finish dead last.
Yeah, you know, new coach, no respect, lack of talent. A lot of times you're predicted to come in dead last. That means the other coaches in the conference don't think you have the talent level to compete for a championship. But thus far, Rich Freeman's doing a good job of making them naysayers.
Carlos King is the quarterback for the Tigers of Morehouse. Kelvin Moore and Terrence Davis are the backs. He's working out of the shotgun right now, 1st down and 10 with an empty backfield. And he hands on a reverse on the end around, and he's giving it to Olden. And let's check out the Dick's Sporting Goods starting lineups for the Tigers of Morehouse, starting with the backs and receivers. We talked about Kelvin Moore. He had 194 yards in the 2 games he's played so far this season. The receivers, to tight end, is Ernest Everett, a preseason all-first-team selection in the SIAC. As far as the offensive line is concerned, Joseph Williams and Raymond Harwood are preseason all-SIAC selections. Nate Nobles is a junior college transfer. It is 2nd down. We'll call it 3. Working from under center, King, and the pitch comes to the right side this time. And Moore with the carry. Moore very close to the 1st down. Let's check out the Dick's Sporting Goods Lane defense. The Dragons, the defensive line. Anthony Creighton is a sophomore, and he's a preseason all-selection. Actually, we're looking at Lane College there. As far as the linebackers, Francis and Woodard. And the secondary, Walden, Roden, Scott, Harris, and Perry. Walden, a transfer from Miami. Scott, preseason all-SIAC. And on 3rd down and a yard, nothing doing because Davis was there to make the stop defensively for Lane College.
Yeah, saw Morehouse there actually trying to hit him with a quick pop in there to the fullback, trying to see if they could sneak it on 3rd and short. And that's unbelievable when you can't get 3rd and short when you need that. They give the ball to their fullback, Terrence Davis there, the big fullback, and there were a plethora of Lane defender Dragons there to stop him short.
And a punting situation. Good kick that time for Strife. And here's a return. Rawls trying to go right, and Rawls across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. And a pretty good return for Lane College, and they'll have good field position. We'll be back to Jackson, Tennessee in a moment.
Or visit us on the web at the address on your screen.
ESPNU College Football is presented by Citi. Let's get it done. And in part by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Along with Jay Walker, Charlie Neal here in Jackson, Tennessee. On an overcast day. It rained a couple of hours ago, and it was raining pretty good. But the rain has stopped. Clouds still in the sky, but a dry feel right now. First down and 10. That's Union man in motion. And here's the handoff to Marcus Adams, and maybe the field isn't so dry. It may be still a little wet, huh?
Yeah, just what you talked about. I mean, rain is an understatement. There was a downpour here for about 2 hours before game time, and they needed the rain here, this part of Tennessee. They went 8 weeks when the drought came out of with plenty of rain. In that case there, you can tell the running back, Marcus Adams, lost his footing trying to make a hard cut on a wet surface. And you can see the lingering effects of that downpour that we talked about with the rain coming down. So the field's still a little bit moist, but as we go on in the game, it should dry up.
The loss of 2 on the last play, second down and 12 from the shotgun. Ellis stands in there, throws over the middle, has it complete to Union. Union has the first down at the 45 of Morehouse. So Virgil Union out of St. Louis, Missouri, 15 yards on the catch.
Yeah, great job by Sherrard Ellis. It was a bad snap that pulled away from his body. He had to take his eyes off the defensive coverage, and Virgil Union did a good job of sitting in the soft spot. Look at Ellis. Get his feet underneath and throw this ball. You see Union slip, but still had great hands and concentration to come down with the first down reception.
And there's Virgil Union. Had 6 catches in their season opener against Lincoln University for 85 yards and a touchdown. He's a big playmaker. The handoff in the backfield to Adams, trying to skirt the corner. That is not Adams. That is Keaton. Keaton had a big game in their season opener. Out of 128 yards for Keaton as Eric Shelton made the stop defensively.
Eric Shelton did a great job there on defense.
And let's check out Lane College, located here in Jackson, Tennessee. Founded in 1882. They have over 1,000 students, 1,100 students enrolled. And their AD is Dr. Alpha Alexander. Of course, we met their president, Dr. Wesley McClure, in our open. It is second down after the gain of, we'll call it 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Keaton, the junior out of Charlotte, North Carolina, on the last carry. As I said, against Lincoln University, 128 yards in their season opener. Pass out in the flat, complete on the far sideline. Coming up with the reception, Donnie Malone, the junior out of Eatonville, Florida.
Let's take a look here once again. Sherrard Ellis there setting his feet. He's a big, strong kid. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's got an arm, and he can make all the throws. Anytime in college football you have the ability to complete the out route, that means you've got plenty of arm strength.
And they were a little shy of the first down on that play. This is a third down running play, and it looks like Sherrard Ellis decided to keep it and gets the first down.
You know, one thing that anybody who follows college football that knows about Johnny Cole-led offense, the quarterback is going to be the trigger man. Whether you had a Leon Murray at Tennessee State or you had a Darnell Kennedy at Alabama State, whoever the quarterback that plays for Johnny Cole, he's going to be the most exciting person on the field to watch, and Sherrard Ellis is trying to follow in that mold.
Preseason, first team All-SIAC selection, and the second man through on the carry is Marcus Adams, and he gets inside or right down to about the 35-yard line before he is stopped by the defense of Morehouse.
It seems as if early that Lane College is having difficulty controlling the line of scrimmage to establish their running game. They said they wanted to run on the left side behind Eric Martineer and Tyrone Jackson, but every time they've tried to run that way to the left side, the Maroon Tiger defense has dominated the line of scrimmage.
Tyrone Jackson's a big kid at 6'3", 290, sophomore out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and they moved him from the defensive side of the ball to offense. Pressure for Ellis, throws it out in the flat, in and out of the hands. The receiver wanted to run before he caught the ball, and that was Rashawn Bruce, the sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, a walk-on. Coach says he makes him smile sometime. He didn't smile that time behind that one.
Not that time, and you take a look here at Gerard Ellis escaping the pressure there. Jailbreak on offense, and Rasheem Bruce, you said it, Charlie, trying to run before he made the catch. You can't get many run after catch if you don't have the football there. As we take a look at the profile of Morehouse College, located in Atlanta, Georgia, founded in 1867. 2,900 young males. It's an all-male school, and the athletic director is also the baseball coach, Andre Patillo.
Patillo, he's here. Andre, talked to him a little while ago. He's in attendance here today. We had a penalty against Morehouse. They were offsides on that last play, so 5-yard penalty moves the ball down to the 30-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 5 for Lane College. Their first drive ended with a punt from their own 37. This one started at their own 42, and they've driven down to the 30-yard line of Morehouse. Ellis to pass, a fade into the corner, and it's going to go incomplete. The receiver stopped, I think, a little bit too soon. If he'd have just kept running, that's Malone. He might have had something going, and he was covered by Brandon Morgan. Of course, he gives away a little size. Morgan only 5'9", and of course Malone is 6'3".
Yeah, 6'3". He just mistimed his jump. So he's in the air now, and the ball's nowhere close, and still managed to get one hand on it. Actually, it was a pretty good throw. Had Malone ran through his route instead of anticipating a jump ball, that could have been 6 for Lane.
3rd down right now. Keaton in the backfield.
Pressure coming for Morehouse.
Quick pass out in the flat, and it's caught. They get the 1st down, but a great defensive tackle that time by Gabriel Harper after the reception that time by Rawls.
Yeah, had Orlando Rawls been able to keep his footing, he had a clear path to the end zone, and that's what happens when you get aggressive on defense. It's one-on-one coverage, so I don't recommend that you do blitzing with the wet, slippery surface here, because had Rawls got away, that was easily a touchdown. You blitz, you got one-on-one coverage, the opportunity for the offense to make a big play.
Southwest DeKalb High is where Rawls hails from. Got out of Atlanta, wound up here at Lane. Here's the handoff to Keaton, 2nd man through. And he's finally wrapped up by Pruitt, Demario Pruitt, the senior from Palmetto, Georgia.
And that one play right there has really changed the face of college football. The spread offense, they call it the dart package offense, and all the quarterback is doing is making a read off the last man on the line of scrimmage, and whether or not he gives the ball to him or not. Take a look at the defensive end. Defensive end is covering the quarterback. You give the ball to the running back right underneath it. You put the defensive lineman in a no-win situation.
I backfield this time. Keaton again on the carry. Keaton generals one man, and Keaton struggles his way down to about the 11-yard line. He's going to be about a yard shy of a 1st down.
And that was a good little piece of running by Brian Keaton. Wanted to call him a twist and shout run. Everybody trying to grab him. He just kept twisting forward and forward.
The junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, 9 games last year. And trying to get to the 1st down marker. The ball is inside the 10 to the 9. Let's see what happens here.
And Gerard Ellis, quarterback sneak, trying to run to the bubble. Did a good job holding on to that football and got twisted all around with because of the athleticism. You know I like athletic quarterbacks, Charlie.
No question.
He got the 1st down.
Well, you talk about him being a preseason 1st-team All-SIAC selection. There's a couple of good quarterbacks in the SIAC. You look at the kid down at Stillman, Charles McCullum, who's another one who's good. He was a preseason 2nd-team selection right behind Gerard Ellis. 1st and goal now for Lane College. They've driven from their own 42 down to the 9-yard line of Morehouse. Back to pass. Out in the flat. Complete to Rawls, but Rawls is not going to get anything. Maybe a yard or 2 on the play before Derek Scott came up to make the stop defensively. Derek Scott, a junior out of Brownwood, Georgia, one of the top athletes on this Morehouse team.
Yeah, you know, when you talk to Coach Freeman, he said Derek Scott is my big hitter. And I thought that was odd because normally your big hitter out of the safeties is the strong safety, but Derek Scott is a starting free safety. But you see what Coach Freeman is talking about there. That was a textbook tackle by Derek Scott down in the red zone to prevent the touchdown.
Maybe a yard gain on the play. It is still 2nd down and goal right now. 5 of 8, 45 yards for Ellis so far. Middleton and Clayton are back there. Ellis wants to throw it, and it's batted in the air, intercepted. Batted in the air, and it is picked off by Cargile. There he is, Mr. Cargile Jeffrey, the linebacker, sophomore out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Let's see who batted it in the air. One of the big linemen got his hands up there. There it is, number 49 got his hands up, and that was Shelton. We'll be back.
Dick's Sporting Goods Fan Fridays.
Davis. Back here with the ball, trying to run to the right side. Not a lot of running room for Myrex Thompson, trying to go around the right side. Actually loses about 4 or 5 yards.
You know, when you watch these two programs, they're mirror programs. Both, you know, and that's what happens when you have one coach leave one staff and go to a rival school. So you see Morehouse running the no-huddle team because he knows that Coach Coles likes to go no-huddle just to make your team tired, to make your defense tired. Well, he's saying, I'm not going to let your defense stay fresh. I'm going to hit you with a little bit of your own medicine. And the Morehouse Maroon Tigers are going with a no-huddle offense as well.
Wendell Olden in the backfield there. Quarterback King decides he's going to take off. Nothing doing defensively on this side, and he gets up across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. We're in the first quarter, still no score. 5:50 is the time remaining. It is 3rd down, 3rd and 7. Across the middle, complete to the big fella. The tight end on the reception for Morehouse College, big number 84. Coming up with it is Thomas Terrence.
Yeah, what you see here, anytime you bring pressure and you don't get to the quarterback, a mobile quarterback can always hurt you by buying time, by leaving the pocket. So although Lane was applying the pressure to the pocket, quarterback Carlos King had already escaped, brought a couple extra seconds, and that gave the tight end an opportunity to open for the big play.
You see Leon Murray, the former Tennessee State great quarterback on this Morehouse staff. Here's King going to the air once again, and it's tipped a little bit, deflected. And we have a penalty marker down. Danair Woodard, I believe, got his hand on it. And this has come from the umpire, so we're probably going to see holding by Morehouse. Oh, they call a personal foul. Must have been something more serious than holding. But normally when the umpire throws the flag, it's a holding.
Yeah, it's a yeah, that's what I thought the call would be and the way it was done, but might have been an illegal hands to the face probably on the defensive line from Lane.
So that moves the ball all the way across midfield. So Morehouse gets across midfield for the first time today. Remember, they picked the ball up, won an interception.
During the play, we had a personal foul, number 77 of the defense, hands to the face. That'll be an automatic first down.
That's what you said, Jay. John Henry was the man guilty, the 6'6", 320-pound junior out of Nashville, Tennessee, a young man who transferred from Middle Tennessee State. And as we go through the game, we'll talk about some of those transfers that Johnny Cole has been able to obtain.
Difference in the programs. Morehouse, younger team, they got to grow their talent. Lane College, hey, we got to do it right now. We bring transfers in. We welcome them.
On the delayed draw, maybe a yard or two on the play, not much more for Myrex Thompson. Maupin in the lineup, talking about one of those JC, or not necessarily JC, a transfer. That's a young man who transferred in here from Ohio State, the Ohio State University.
As our ESPN colleague Robert Smith always made popular when we played together for the Vikings, it's the Ohio State.
King to go to the air, under pressure, wide open field in the middle. He takes off. Brought down from behind, but not before a big gain. Harvey Scott saved any more yards with the tackle, but not before King gets down to the 29-yard line.
This is a great job by King of making the decision to run, and once he realized it was man-to-man coverage, nobody accounts for the quarterback, so he took off running, and that's what young quarterbacks have to do. When you see man coverage, realize you become that third running back for your team, and King made the proper decision, went through his reads, it wasn't there right away, got out the pocket, and it was a big gain for the Maroon Tigers.
21 yards to be exact, and it's a first down at the 29-yard line. 4:18 the time remaining, clock running. First quarter, no score. High snap, pulled down. Kelvin Moore, left side. Maybe 3 yards for Kelvin Moore. Out of Columbus, Georgia. He had 88 yards in their season, I should say 106 yards in their season opener against Benedict, and 88 a week ago against Fort Valley in that 1-point loss.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good hard runner. I mean, take a look at him, 6'2", 200 pounds, and he's solid. So he's one of those guys where as the game goes on, late in the fourth quarter, he's the running back that can pound those extra yards that you need.
And he's in the backfield, working out of the shotgun as King, senior out of Albany, Georgia. How did he get away from Albany State, huh?
That doesn't happen often.
And nobody's there. Almost intercepted down there by the defender, John Roden. I think it was a miscommunication between the receiver, Stedman, and the quarterback, King. Let's see what the flag is all about. We've got offsides against Lane College.
And actually, to Carlos King's defense, he realized that they were offsides.
At the snap, we have offsides on the defense, number 10. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
Terrell Walden, the cornerback, I guess he was on blitz. And, you know, how does a defensive back and cornerback get offsides?
He called for offsides, but, you know, that being the case, John Roden, you've got to come down with this interception. That's why he played defensive back, son. A wide receiver that can't catch.
Although it wouldn't have made it. It wouldn't have made any difference because of the penalty.
It would have looked good.
It would have looked good, right?
Style points there.
It is second down and 2. It would have made the highlights anyhow, huh, on SportsCenter. High snap. King pulls it down under pressure. He will not get away. This time coming up with the big tackle is Clifton Stanford. A loss of 10 yards on that sack by Stanford.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at Clifton Stanford, defensive end, coming from around there, beats his man. It's supposed to be a rollout. Tracks down the quarterback from the backside for the big tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and that gets defensive coordinators excited. Anytime you get defensive linemen making tackle behind the line of scrimmage, they love that.
Well, you talk about Clifton Stanford. He was at Arizona before coming here to Lane College. That's his second sack of the year. He had a sack against Lincoln University, so they have to feel good about that. They're all the way back to about the 30-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 11.
Look at that. You see all that red? That's every defender in the lane has. They're bringing the whole kitchen sink.
They're coming, and they have a man out there. Can't get it. Good dive by Strickland for the ball, and it goes incomplete.
Wow, if you're Carlos King, you have to be licking your chops. As a quarterback, that's what you want. They're bringing pressure. You can block it somewhat, and you've got a slot receiver running down the middle of the field. One-on-one coverage. You see King. He's trying to hold on to this ball. If he could just put a little bit more air on it, he did a good job observing the blow, and that could have been a big play. That's why teams don't blitz every down, because there's nobody in the middle of the field. They were bringing the pressure, and I like the fact that Morehouse attacked the blitz instead of getting attacked by the blitz.
So that 30-yard line. It's going to be a field goal, 46 yards. The kick is up, and it is short.
Well short.
Well short for Morehouse. Michael Strife. He was 1 of 3 coming into the game, and he misses one here. We'll be back. As we start the second quarter here of college football presented by City, it's an SIAC matchup between Morehouse and Lane College. Along with Jay Walker, I'm Charlie Neal, and glad you could join us for this matchup. Of course, Morehouse in the visiting whites, Lane in the home red jerseys, and Jay Walker not a very happy man right now. He just found out his Howard University Bison lost to Hampton University, and always a great game between those two, 31-24, and a season opener for both today, a MEAC matchup. we'll see both of them before the season's over. Right now, here's Sherrod Ellis running, throwing, has it complete, and it's Union with the reception for the first down. Or, yes, it is Union. Right at about the 37-yard line.
That's a great job there of a quarterback and a wide receiver knowing each other, having that type of chemistry and bond. As you take a look at Sherrod Ellis here, just continuing to cause the Morehouse defense fits with his mobility. And Union did a great job of sitting down in the zone there.
And he knew how to come back and get the ball. He's quite a character, isn't he?
Oh, man. Very animated.
We spent some time with him yesterday, and he's quite an entrepreneur, businessman, a communications major. He said he's going to take your job one day, Jeff.
And he's going to throw the after party, too.
No question. First down and 10. And nothing doing that time for Brody Clayton, who stopped for a loss of about 2 by Jones, Earl Thomas, correction, on the stop defensively. Don't forget ESPNU delivers more action from the gridiron Thursday night as Texas Southern faces Jackson State from Memorial Stadium in Jackson, Mississippi. It's Thursday primetime college football. A SWAC matchup presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, and it comes your way on ESPNU this Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. It is second down. And getting it out, trying to get it out to Union. This one goes incomplete, but pressure being applied by Mario Lane. Transfer from Alabama State. Remember, he wore number 1 when he was at Alabama State. He's wearing 56 now.
That was the oddest looking number 1 I'd ever seen. I mean, I've seen defenders wear number 1, but I've never seen a defensive lineman, 6'6", 300 pounds, walking around wearing number 1.
Yeah, that's right.
So 56
he needs to have 3 numbers, doesn't he?
I like that. You know, hey, stick to those 50s and 90s, Mario. Good kid, though. Tough story and persevered and is still living his dream of playing college football despite overcoming some obstacles.
Third down. 3rd and 12. There's the pass too high this time for Rawls. And it goes incomplete to bring up a 4th down situation. And the punting unit will come on.
Thank you. That's one of those throws where Ellis wishes he could take back. He had the wide open receiver and got caught holding on to the football a little bit too long. And that's what happens with mobile quarterbacks. So often you wonder why they're not so accurate as passers sometimes. It's because they rely on their legs so much and they don't become efficient passers. They become good passers, but not efficient passers. The efficient passer would have picked up that throw there and had the first down to keep the drive alive.
So the second time today we'll see the punt from Gutierrez. Good high kick, nobody back. And it goes into the end zone for the touchback. It'll be brought out to the 20. Don't forget to log on to your online source for all things college sports, ESPNU.com. It's an online service that can be your gateway to all the college sports content from ESPN, combining the latest news with an expanded collection of exclusive materials, scores, columns, video and audio highlights, podcasts, live streaming games, and much, much more. Log on to ESPNU.com today because we are college sports. From their own 20, Morehouse gets the ball for the 3rd time this afternoon. They had a 46-yard field goal they attempted that went awry. They managed to get down to the lane 30 in their last possession. Let's see what they can do this time. First down and 10. We're in the second quarter, no score. Here's Carlos King on the quarterback keeper. Gets maybe a yard out to the 21-yard line. Mike Stewart on the stop defensively out of Memphis, Tennessee, number 44.
He's out. See, that's one of those plays I never liked as a quarterback. When you're in the pocket and you're in the shotgun, they're going to call quarterback draw. I like to see the quarterback draw run to the side where the wide receivers are compared to running to where the tight end is. Tight end's over there, you're going to have linebackers. But if you run to where the wide receivers are, chances are you have to make a defensive back miss. And I like getting hit by DBs before I like getting hit by linebackers.
It is second down. I can understand that. And this one is complete. This time it's Terrence Thomas, and Thomas has the first down out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And, you know, Jay, when we talked to Coach Rich Freeman yesterday, he said he wanted to open it up more this week, and he's trying to do that.
He is. You know, that's his nature. Every time we do these games, whenever there's a former defensive coordinator as a head coach, they always tell you the type of offense we want. Ball control, ball control. Well, ball control can be kind of boring, and it can be very restrictive at times, and he realized that. And that's rare you see that so young. I mean, in a young coach's tenure, that he realized after 2 games, I need to open it up some more. I'm going to leave my philosophy for the benefit of this team, and we're going to open it up a little bit because I got a good quarterback that I trust in Carlos King, so let's get some more excitement in the game. And
King has it complete to Stedman on the near side, but Stedman cannot get away from the sure tackling of Perry. Ulysses Perry is right there, this junior out of Memphis, Tennessee. Went to Hillcrest High.
Yeah, that's a great job. Ulysses Perry goes 5'9", 100. About the wide receiver there, James Stedman, 6'4", 215. You would think the bigger man would be able to get by him for the big game, but Ulysses Perry showing that he's got plenty. Ulysses Perry, excuse me, showing he's got plenty of toughness, making the open field tackle.
And it's 3rd down. Complete. What a throw and a first down gained by Achille Henge. And he gains the first down at a 45-yard line. John Roden finally made the stop defensively, but not before the completion.
Yeah, this is what you call pitching and catching it right here. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. King wants to stick the ball in the soft spot of that cover 2 zone. Great job by the wide receiver of getting open there, Achille Henge. And that's what you want. Look at this. Set your feet. Know where you're going with the football. That's a sure throw. He knew the moment he made the decision to go there, he saw something he liked in the defense, and he attacked. Carlos King showing senior leadership.
Henge with the reception. And there's the numbers for Henge so far this season. Trying to go to the left side. More. Lets the ball go. And Lane has it. Coming up with it is Stewart. Mike Stewart with the recovery. So each team has turned the ball over once so far this afternoon. This time it was Kelvin Moore. He was hit. He lets it go. And Lane has it.
Phillips 66. Hard-working gas.
You're watching ESPNU College Football presented by City. It's Morehouse against Lane College from Jackson, Tennessee. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our coverage after these messages.
Panoxyl Bar from Stiefel Labs is available at CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens.
It's halftime here in Jackson, Tennessee, in this SIAC matchup between Morehouse College and Lane College. Be sure to join us on our next SIAC televised game, Sunday, October 14th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern live, as Benedict travels to Frankfort, Kentucky to take on Kentucky State. It's the SIAC on ESPNU. ESPNU delivers more HBCU football action this Thursday night as the Tigers of Texas Southern face the Tigers of Jackson State from Jackson, Mississippi. It's Thursday, primetime college football presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on ESPNU at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Stay tuned after the break. It's the Sports Center U studio that will catch you up on all the football action from the day. Sports Center U coming up right after this message on ESPNU.
Vonage, a better way to phone for less.
It's halftime here in Jackson, Tennessee. It's an SIAC matchup between Morehouse College and Lane College. Don't forget to join Lowell Galindo, Jim Donnan, and Tom Luganbill each Tuesday beginning September 11th throughout the season for ESPNU Coaches Spotlight at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU. You will hear from the top college coaches and get detailed analysis. This 4 hours is a must for every college football fan. ESPNU Coaches Spotlight each Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU starting this Tuesday. We'll get you to the second half action right after these messages.
808 or go online to betterwaytophone.com.
Get ready to start the second half here in Jackson, Tennessee. No score between the Maroon Tigers of Morehouse and the Dragons of Lane College. Along with Jay Walker, I'm Charlie Neal. Let's look at some of the offense from the first half. Not a lot. Here's the quarterback for Morehouse College, Carlos King.
Carlos King doing a good job with his feet. He was the guy in the first half that could get things going in and out of the pocket. He rushed for 75 yards in the first half, and he also completed some balls as well. And on the other side, when you talk about Lane College, Sherrard Ellis showed some veteran leadership, sticking the pass in there, and also showing that he's not going to be outdone. He's got the touch pass as well, and he was effective running the football as well. But needless to say, the score is 0-0.
No question. As you look at the stats for the two teams, both teams turned the ball over twice in the first half. Morehouse fumbled and threw an interception. Both turnovers by Lane were by way of interceptions, but Sherrard Ellis, one of his favorite targets in the first half was Virgil Union. We said earlier he had to play big, 4 catches for 50 yards in the first half. In fact, Sherrard Ellis completed passes to 6 different receivers out of those 15 completions.
Yeah, but Virgil Union was going to be the guy. He wanted to do wide receiver by committee to replace the productivity of Jacoby Jones. Virgil Union stepped up to be the go-to guy for Lane in the first half with 4 catches for 50 yards, averaging 12.3. And I know and we know he sure wishes one of those had a touchdown behind it.
No question about it. So that's the way it stands here as we get ready to start the second half from Lane College in Jackson, Tennessee. Your thoughts about the second half, Jay?
I think, they'll come out, they'll settle down, they'll get more aggressive. I think what you have to do in this case, if you're Morehouse, when you've got a quarterback that's run the ball so efficiently, you have to tell him, hey, you become our running game. We're going to spread you out by formation with the hope that you become the running game and continue to run the ball effectively for the big play. And if you're Lane College, they've been driving. They've been the more efficient of the offensive. They just haven't had a chance to punch it in there, figure out a way to get it going, to punch the ball in there, and then I think, hey, the gloves will come off, and this will be an old-fashioned boxing match with plenty of points in the second half.
Well, you got the pupil right there, and Rich Freeman, the teacher, was his good friend, very good friends. They coached together for 12 years, and that is Johnny Cole. And don't forget to log on to your online source for all things college sports, ESPNU.com. It's an online service that will be your gateway to all college sports content from ESPN that combines the latest news with an expanded collection of exclusive material, live streaming games, and much, much more. You can log on to ESPNU.com today because we are college sports. And Lane College will get the ball to start the second half. Here's the kick by Strife. And this is Terrell Walden bringing it back down the sideline, and he is really hit late after the whistle blew in front of the Lane bench. The ball is going to be spotted at about the 36-yard line, but he really got tattooed down there, and flags were coming from everywhere.
Terrell Walden, the fastest guy without question. The fastest guy on the football field today, probably for both teams. Don't want to shortchange Morehouse at all, but Terrell Walden's got what they call world-class speed.
We talk about SIAC matchups as we listen to our referee, Ken Allen.
At the end of the run, we have a dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 11 on the kicking team. That'll be 15 yards from the end of the run. That'll be first down.
Troy Shine out of Los Angeles, number 11, with the late hit. Here it comes now. Boom. Whistle is blown.
That's a tough one. I mean, he's being a football player. It's not as if Walden stepped out of bounds and came to a complete stop. Walden stepped out of bounds and kept going forward.
But the whistle.
Shine probably didn't hear the whistle, yeah. And that, thus the penalty.
And there's Sherrard Ellis. The numbers on him. As I said, he completed 15 of those passes, or those 15 pass completions were to 6 different receivers in the first half. So the ball will be spotted right at midfield for Lane. And now jumping off sides and pointing is Earl Thomas. He's pointing at the running back, saying the running back did something. But
it doesn't matter. See, that's what something Earl's got to know the rules of the game. As a running back, you can go forward, and almost as if you get reset again. You just can't have your momentum going towards the line of scrimmage when the ball is snapped.
It is offsides against Earl Thomas.
Offsides on the defense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
He wanted to blame the back. He need to point his finger at himself.
Yeah.
Use the thumb.
Know the rules. Yeah, I don't know if he thought the fullback was a lineman or something because he was in a 3-point stance, but play the game. Once you run to and they don't blow the whistle, let it go.
Brody Clayton, the second back in the eye, behind the quarterback Ellis. Rawls, the man in motion. And it goes to Clayton. Clayton, the flag goes down again, and we're going to get a holding penalty. I believe this one's going to be whistled against Tyrone Jackson, number 74, the left tackle.
Sloppy football play here in the second half continues, and it's early.
You know, we're talking about some other games being played in the SIAC today. Valdosta State is going to Fort Valley. Fort Valley is 2-0, 1-0 in the SIAC right now. Here's Ken Allen.
Holding on the offense, number 56. Be 10 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
Well, they called it on Mario Parrish rather than Tyrone Jackson. I think it was one of those things where you take your choice.
Can't take him down like that.
Can't take him down like that. You heard him say that. Stillman is at home against Shorter. They're 2-0. Miles is playing Benedict. Miles looking for their first win of the season. They come in 0-2. Benedict is 1-1 overall, 0-1 in conference play. Clark Atlanta is 0-2. They're taking on Alabama A&M. Kentucky State 0-2 against Albany State, and Tuskegee is idle.
Clark looking at 0-3. They're 0-2 taking on the defending SWAC champ Alabama A&M.
Fumble still on the ground and finally picked up by a red jersey, and that was Clayton who came up with the fumble recovery. And in fact, one of the defenders, I believe that was Earl Thomas, had a shot at it, but the quarterback did a good job in not letting him get to it. Watch, see right there?
And that's what they mean. They always tell defensive players, fall on the ball. Don't, you know, if you're in doubt and you're not clear by yourself, don't try and catch the ball out of the air. Just fall on the ball first chance you get. In that case there, Earl didn't listen to the coaching, and I'm sure he'll hear about it as he goes over to the sideline, but they should have had that ball.
It was a 1st and 5 for Lane. Now it is 2nd and 21.
Second and ever.
Flanker screen on the near side. Trying to break tackles is Virgil Union, and he's not going to get anywhere as the defense comes over. A bunch of white jerseys are there to make sure, led by Jeffrey Cargile.
Yeah, that's why they go back to old Bernie Mac joke. You know it's a long time if you take the 4 off of it. 3rd and ever. Not 4 ever, 3rd and ever.
3rd and ever, not forever. The stands are full on the Lane side of the stadium here.
They got to spark their own excitement.
Yeah.
The teams on the field don't want to score points, so they're taking it to the stands.
3rd and 20. Low snap picked up by Ellis. Now he's going to take off and try to run. There's some blocking over there if he can get loose. They missed the first defender coming up to make the stop. Nobody hit him, and I believe that was Cargile.
And that's one of those times where we talk about the festivities going on on the sideline, taking better place than on the football field. You see here when it's 3rd and this long, stay in the pocket. Just go to your left or go to your right. Don't go forward. Buy yourself some more time because you're not going to run for 20-plus yards on a scramble with the zone coverage back there. So in that case there, I would have liked to have seen Sherrard Ellis commit to looking downfield longer than he did rather than committing to the run so soon.
4th punt of the day for Gutierrez. Dropped immediately at the 11-yard line. Good special teams play by Lane College. And it's Shelton that came up with the great special teams play. Derek Shelton, number 26.
23, and he just timed it up perfectly. I mean, that's what you want. He gave him the 1 yard, and he had enough speed built up that he was able to get there. And Shelton had some help, and that's solid special teams play. And, you know, in a game like this, when it's 0-0, so often it comes down to whoever makes the biggest play on special teams. And you take a look at Carlos King's numbers from the first half, 7-13. But look at that, 66 yards on the ground. He's got to keep that up in the second half, running the football.
Carlos King lets it fly, has a man there, can't get to it. Off of the fingertips of NJ. Or was that Thompson coming out of the backfield again? That's the second time they've tried to hit Myrick Thompson coming out of the backfield on the long pass.
Yeah, that's just going one-on-one, looking for a matchup. You get Myrick Thompson, a running back that can fly, going against a linebacker / strong safety, and twice just been that close to hitting Thompson on big plays out of the backfield.
2nd down 10 at their own 13. Nothing ball game here. It's been a defensive battle all the way. And now that's a push off on the receiver, Hengy. But no call. Hengy, big kid out of Silver Spring, Maryland. 6'2", 190-pound junior. Looks a little heavier than that, doesn't he?
You said it, not me. When you're my size, you don't talk about anybody else's weight. But, you know, one thing I want to see, though, in Carlos King is still just doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. You know, he's got to settle down in that pocket. They talk about he's a great leader. That's all the coaches said. He's a leader. He's a leader. He's a leader. Well, the leader looks scared in that pocket.
3rd and 10. 2 straight incompletions now for Carlos King in this drive. Has some room. Now he's going to take off and run. And he's out of bounds at the 21-yard line. He may have the first down. He is very close. That was a 3rd and 10 play. That's going to be close. They're going to have to look at it and see if he's got the first down.
Well, and that goes back to what we talked about in the first half. When he gets out the pocket, he's not an aggressive runner. He's cruising. You know, this is 3rd and 10. You've got a lot of yardage to pick up. Get on it. You know, make up your mind, tuck that ball, become a running back. You need to lean forward for that extra yard. You've got to lean forward for that extra yard, because if you come up a yard short, he easily could have gained 2 or 3 more yards with just effort compared to what he did.
But they did move the chains. He got enough for the first down, and the ball is spotted at the 22-yard line. Remember, I said he started with 2 straight incompletions. He was 7 of 13 in the passing department in the first half. First down and 10 now for Morehouse. Their own 22. The handoff to Kelvin Moore, and Moore gets maybe 3 out to the 25-yard line.
This is one of those games where Kelvin Moore, with his size and his body at 6'2", 200 pounds, as the game goes on, I'd like to see his number of carries go up, because he can wear you down. He's one of the bigger backs you're going to see in Division II college football. Let him wear you out. He's a big bruiser. Continue to pound the ball, and it feels a little bit wet. Those are the type of backs you want to have on your team that can carry you in the 4th quarter.
Stedman is checked into the lineup. Comes to the bottom of your screen. Number 12 from the shotgun, King. Looking under pressure, steps away and gains a yard, and that is all he's going to get before he's finally wrapped up.
That's unfortunate he decided to run there, because I think he can settle in that pocket right there. I mean, why did he pull that ball down? You know, that's what you got to wonder. Why are you pulling the ball down? And that's what we talked about earlier. I said he doesn't look like he's confident in that pocket. The good old-fashioned cliche is he's got happy feet. You know, he's got very happy feet, and he's not settled in there, and he's just not comfortable in the pocket.
So to bring up a 3rd. 3rd and about 6. Ball spotted right at about the 25-yard line. Again, working from the shotgun. Under pressure again. Has some running room. Has the first down, and still on his feet out to the 38-yard line.
See, that's what I'm talking about, Carlos. He takes coaching. He took my coaching. He decided when I'm going to run this ball, I'm going to run the ball aggressively. And as a quarterback, when you decide to take off and run, especially on 3rd down, you have to run aggressive. Get up here, make a good hard cut, make a couple moves. First, second guy miss, and then lean forward for every yard you can get. That's leadership that they want. Somebody that just has the will to keep going when things aren't going your way. He's going to will his team to the first down. And Carlos King is doing a good job of that on this drive.
Myers Thompson in the backfield with him. He also has Wendell Olden in the slot to the bottom of your screen. All the way to the bottom is James Stedman. 1st and 10. Lane College. Pretty good drive. Terrence Thomas in motion. Lets it fly. Great adjustment and great catch downfield by Hengy. And Hengy gives him a first down inside the 25 at the 24. Just went up high over the defender and pulled it down.
And you wonder why
that's a basketball play.
Yeah, and you wonder why big, tall receivers are so in today. And that's because you see him going over Derek Shelton. He's going up over the top, and take a look there. He's excited about that. And the president from Lane, Dr. Chesley McClure said, oh, no, not looking good right now. And actually, that was a bailout, because, you know, Carlos King threw that ball off his back foot, off the back leg, and that's why it hung in the air so much, because Kenji had him beat.
Yeah, Derek Shelton was the defender who was beaten down there. I mean, he had good coverage. You can't get any better coverage. You're right there on the man. Now, you just have to give Hengy great credit for going up and wanting that ball a little more. Timeout on the field. And we'll be back. 9:05 left third.
It's an affordable health insurance for families. And
no score here in the third quarter, but Morehouse knocking on the door and talking about the SIAC. You know, the teams that really have dominated this conference since 1992 has been Albany State, Tuskegee, and Fort Valley. Fort Valley, the only team since 92 to win, other than Tuskegee and Albany State, an SIAC championship. Albany State has 9 of those under 2 different head coaches. One was Hamp Smith. Now Mike White has taken over where Hamp Smith has left off, and they won 4 in a row, and they're picked to win it again this year.
Yeah, you know, the question in the conference is Tuskegee's in second place with 4. Well, now that Rick Comagee is gone, how long is it going to take for
them to get back
to Tuskegee to get back to the promised land? And that's the question everybody down in Tuskegee, Alabama wants to know.
First down and 10. Here's King with some running room on the right side. And he's finally brought down at about the 20-yard line. A gain of about 4.
And that's one of those plays where as a coordinator, I don't mind that because, you know, you are the running game for us. But sometimes he's aggressive when he runs. Sometimes he's kind of lackadaisical when he runs. I really feel had he put more effort and emphasis on his running game with effort, he could have 100 yards rushing already. Yeah, but you look at the fact that he's rushed the quarterback for Morehouse more than the whole Lane team together combined. You know, that tells me they're not accounting for him in the running game. Take advantage of it. Lane is not defensing the quarterback. Thompson, the back beside the quarterback. King again wants to go to the air. Throws it out there. Has a man. Can't get it. Wow. Had to twist his body around to try to make the catch. Hengy again, the man who had the long reception. Hengy doing a good job trying to readjust to this football. It was actually a poorly thrown pass by King. Hengy did a good job of getting that wide open in the end zone. He got behind the cornerback and the safety. Watch him readjust for this ball twice. This ball takes off on King, and he's by the safety and the cornerback there. That should have been 6 points for the Tigers. 8:14, the time remaining. Lane trying to stop them defensively. They won the game a year ago against Morehouse after losing 7 straight. This one goes incomplete again. Hengy, the intended receiver, diving, and it'll bring up a 4th down. We're in Jackson, Tennessee for this SIAC matchup on ESPNU, presented by City. Morehouse College in the red jerseys. I should say in the white. Lane in the red jerseys, along with Jay Walker. I'm Charlie Neal. And it's a 4th down situation. Field goal attempt forthcoming from the 28-yard line. It'll be a 38-yard field goal attempt. They missed a 46-yarder earlier. This kick is up. It has no chance, unfortunately. So they march all the way down the field. They get to the 21-yard line of Lane College. And 2 field goals missed today by Mr. Strife. And we'll be back. Avoided the field goal, and it's still no score on the board here in the 3rd quarter. And join hosts Lowell Galindo and analyst Mike Gottfried and Tom Luganville for Inside the Polls with the most in-depth look at the college football polls, plus a weekly Heisman Watch. All that and more. Inside the Polls presented by 76, Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on ESPNU. And here's a pass complete on the far sideline to Donnie Malone, number 11. Donnie Malone, a junior out of Eatonville, Florida, transferred from Virginia Union, another Division II school in the CIAA. When we talk about, you know, when I talk to the different coaches around college football, black college football especially, it's not who did you recruit last year. I want to know who you have on campus that's going to make an impact for you this year that didn't play with this team last year. And I think at Lane College, they do a good job of actually getting the transfers in and having impact players that can play. Because he's got a roster that's full of transfers, you know, over 23 transfers on this Lane football team. And Coach Cole said that's by design. That's by design. That's what we have to do. And, you know, he's doing it very well. Well, you know, they talked about Jacoby Jones. There was another big play receiver from a year ago on this Lane team by the name of Ed Williams, who had 36 receptions to go along with Jacoby Jones, 68. So, you know, that's a big play receiver. And there's the coach, Wesley McCullough, on the side. When the president comes down on the sideline, something's wrong. Coach/president. he gets into it. Up in the first half, couldn't get it going, so he decided, let me take a closer look at what's going on. And, I'm a football guy. I love it when I got presidents that are football people as well, that care about winning, and, they're going to care about the program.
So now that was a third down short situation. Now it's 4th and 1. The clock, there's some going on with the clock. They're trying to get it together here. In the meantime, we talked about this Lane team. They were picked to finish 5th in the preseason polls, despite all the success they had a year ago. Of course, Morehouse picked to finish last. And coaches like to be picked down the bottom of the ladder.
Yes, some like to be, some like to be the hunters rather than the hunted, and I think that's the case. But I don't think they were fooling anybody. I don't think it was disrespect to Lane, but they just wanted to see if they were one-hit wonders, or we call it in football one-year wonders. Had a good year, but can you continually be the man year in and year out? That's yet to be proven by these Dragons.
6th punt of the afternoon for Sean Gutierrez, the senior, who didn't punt at all in their first game against Lincoln. Had a little pressure coming, gets off a pretty good one, gets a good roll, and is still running down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. And that's where Morehouse will go to work. First down and 10 at the 24-yard line. 10 schools are part of the SIAC right now. There's Albany State, of course, Benedict, Clark, Atlanta, Fort Valley, Kentucky State, Lane, Miles, Morehouse, Stillman, and Tuskegee. And the tradition of the SIAC is a long one.
Now, this is a simple question for you, but on that list, who's missing that's in the SIAC, Charlie? They don't play football.
Oh, you mean Payne College?
Okay.
Yeah, down in Savannah, Georgia.
One more.
Not Savannah, Augusta, Georgia.
You left one off, Charlie. Don't do this to me.
Oh, LeMoyne.
There you go. I knew you better than that.
And here's Carlos King. And Carlos King picks up some valuable yards before being stopped.
When you talk about LeMoyne and Payne, those are non-football members of the SIAC,
right.
So they don't play football. So we didn't shortchange them. They just don't participate on the grass. They like to stick to the hardwood.
Taylor Tristan was the man who came up with the stop defensively on that last play. It is 2nd down after the gain of 5. 2nd and 5. King gets the ball.
Big hit.
This one hangs up there and it's intercepted. Coming back is Roden. Roden tripped up right at about the 40-yard line, saving the touchdown. Was Stanford, I believe.
Well, Stanford that made the big hit.
Well, it made the hit, but saving the touchdown for Morehouse College.
Take a look at the pressure here by Stanford. Coming in on the right side of your screen, number 55, Clifton Stanford, the transfer from the University of Arizona, put the big hit. That ball floated in the air where John Roden actually could have called a fair catch for the interception, and doing a good job on the return. Becoming very athletic, and that's what you have to do as a defensive back. Just like when a quarterback breaks the pocket, he becomes a running back. As a defensive back, once you get the ball on an interception, you become a running back, and that's a good job by John Roden.
So great field position now for the Lane Dragons. The ball at the 43-yard line of Morehouse. Their best field position in the second half here, and they have the ball 1st down and 10. This pass is caught, but they lose yards as they get it to Orlando Rawls on the reception. They lose about 2 yards on that one.
Tried to do this wide receiver middle screen, and they did too good a job of blocking on the offensive line, allowing the defensive line and the linebacker to come in there on the second tier protection. You're going to do that middle screen. Let your guy get by you, pass him on, and then you go up and hit a linebacker, and nobody on the offensive line for Lane did their jobs on that middle screen.
Marcus Adams in the backfield with the quarterback, Sherrod Ellis. He was only sacked 7 times last year. And there's the pass in the middle, and it's complete to Malone, and Malone is still on his feet and finally down at the 24-yard line. Donnie Malone, the junior, the transfer, we talked about him earlier from Virginia Union.
and I want you to watch them attack the middle of the field. You're going to see 2 jerseys come to the middle of the field. Although he's looking left, you see Malone on the catch, but you're also going to see number 4 that was there in the middle of the field, Rasheem Bruce. They're playing a cover 2, so what does Coach Cole do? He doesn't send 1 receiver to the middle of the field. He sends 2 receivers to the middle of the field with a high-low read, and Malone was the second guy coming through to pick up the big first down.
The handoff this time to Clayton. Clayton trying to break tackles, but he's not going to get away this time from Thomas, Earl Thomas, the middle linebacker.
Earl Thomas is a really good football player. He's been all over the field today for that Morehouse Maroon Tiger defense, and he's one of those linebackers that can play sideline to sideline. His biggest attribute is not necessarily the ability to hit you all the time, but it's the ability to always catch you. He's a sideline to sideline player, very fast, runs somewhere in that 4.4 to 4.5 range, playing the middle linebacker position at 225 pounds.
Came into the game with 13 tackles, 8 solos in the first 2 outings. One of the top athletes on this Morehouse squad out of Houston, Texas, a junior.
That explains it. I know he's from Houston. They run down to Texas.
Fumble and picked up, fortunately for Lane College. And that'll bring up a 3rd down situation. They were fortunate to hold on to this one, and that was Sherrod Ellis, the quarterback. You know, they talked about this offense, and you talk about Johnny Cole being the coach. He's a thing, he calls it the hobo offense. It's called the high-octane, big-play offense.
Yeah, that's right, and that's exciting. Fans love it. You know, and everywhere he's gone, he's had a track record of producing points on the board. Now, he's making us all out to be liars today with this 0 performance he's putting for us today. Maybe they need to change the gas they're putting in there. You know, everybody's going green nowadays. Put some ethanol in that high-powered machine. Look at that.
Bad snap again. Still on his feet, trying to square his body, throws, and it's good defense by Morehouse's Brandon Morgan. Brandon Morgan made sure that was not going to be caught.
He's been busy today. You know, Coach Freeman said he's my best cover guy. And, you know, the bad snaps have been happening all day. They've been low. They've been very inaccurate. And then you see Carlos, you see Sherrod here doing a good job of getting out the pocket, trying to make something out of nothing. But it all started from the center exchange with that bad snap.
Tried to get it to Union. This will be a 40-yard field goal attempt, the first field goal attempt of the day for Lane.
Look at this kicker. I mean, when you take a look at this kicker, he's got a little meat on his bone.
Yeah.
Thick little guy.
This is Froylan Sanchez, a junior, his first field goal attempt of the year. And it's Virgil Union to hold it. This could break the 0-0 tie. The kick is up. Has the distance. And it is no good. Off to the left. Everybody got excited on that one, didn't they?
Yeah, he got the distance. He got it up and just pulled it to the left a little bit.
We'll be back. We're in Jackson, Tennessee for this SIAC matchup. No score. Morehouse and Lane.
Inside. Russell has what it takes on the outside.
You're watching ESPNU College Football presented by City. It's Morehouse against Lane College from Jackson, Tennessee. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our coverage after these messages.
You give a little love, and it all comes back to you.
11:22 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And Morehouse with the ball at their own 47-yard line. Carlos King talking to Kelvin Moore. Puts Thompson in motion. Thompson trying to get the ball on the counter play inside, and it's smelled out by the defense. And it was Harvey Scott who came up with it. And don't forget, ESPNU delivers more action from the gridiron. It comes your way on Thursday night. Texas Southern takes on Jackson State in a SWAC matchup in Jackson, Mississippi. It's Thursday primetime college football presented by Buffalo Wild Wings right here on ESPNU. Comes your way at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And for more information, log on to ESPNU.com. It is second down after the loss of about 5 on the play. Second down and 15. And here's a draw play to Moore. And Moore gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Now, this is the time now where, as a head coach, you go to the offensive coordinator and you tell him, I need your 10 best plays. And we're going to run them consecutively. The ones we game planned all week is we've got a hurt Dragon down on the field.
Clifton Stanford is the man shaken up, transfer from Arizona. They're tending to him. But let's look at Carlos King, who's what he's had to do, and he's done it basically with his legs.
Well, I mean, the scouting report on him says he's a leader and a runner, and he has not let us down in the running department. He's come up with some good runs and great opportunities to keep drives alive. Hasn't ran in the end zone yet, but at times when he's very athletic and he can run the football very hard, very effectively when he puts his mind to it. He's 6'2", he's rangy, but he's a tough kid.
Well, the man that was injured, Cliff Stanford, got up. He got a hand. I think he may have cramp or something. But that's what they're trying to stretch his leg out there. He got up and he was starting to walk off the field, and then he collapsed again. Now he's going to try it again. They got him sitting up.
I think with cramps, they need to have like a hop rule. You know, if you're cramping up in your right leg, then, you know, let us hop off the field on your left till you get to the sideline.
Just call it the hop rule?
Call it a hop rule. You know, we're going to let you hop.
And there's the numbers on Carlos King today. 141 yards rushing, 141 yards passing, 101 yards rushing. Not a bad afternoon for the stats-wise.
And of those 9 completions,
but no points.
I can't recall one throw that he's made in rhythm today. All of his throws have been kind of, all right, let me hold it, let me see. Only 1 or 2 passes where he's felt comfortable on rhythm. Sidearm, always running the football, but never comfortable in dropping back and having an effective passing rhythm.
Woodard was looking like he was going to blitz. There's a throw across the middle, has it complete inside the 25, 20, still on his feet, 10-5, touchdown, Stedman.
It doesn't have to be rhythmic, but it works.
Well, he got his points. You just talked bad about him. He said, I'll show you, Jay.
It was the same thing. That's what he's been relying upon. It was a drop back, take a look at the rush. I mean, watch him look at the rush. He's here, he's looking, gets outside the pocket on the rush, but he looks upfield, has a crossing route right in front of him, delivers a strike to Stedman in stride. Stedman's their most dangerous receiver with that big body. It's 6'4", 215. He's not an easy guy to bring down, and James Stedman with a 54-yard touchdown reception.
Strife 3 of 4 at PAT so far this year, trying to make it 7-0. The first points of the ball game. The kick is up as the distance, and it's no good. So we stay at 6-0. So the kicking game has been absent for both teams this afternoon, but we finally get some points on the board. 6-0. Morehouse strikes first. Stedman 54 yards on the reception from Carlos King. There you see Mr. Stedman with the big 54-yard catch, first score of the ball game. The junior out of Savannah, Georgia, and join hosts Lo Galindo and analyst Mike Godfrey to Tom Luganbill inside the polls. Presented Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And here's Rawls, and he's back at the 11-yard line, and the penalty marker is down.
On kickoff returns, I've rarely, and I mean rarely, seen good things happen when a return man decides he's going to turn his back to the oncoming defenders and try and reverse field. Just too fast on this level. You can get away with that in high school, but the moment you leave high school, the ability to cut all the way back against the grain goes out the window.
Talk a little bit about the new rule and how it's affected field position. They're saying in the first week of the season, as we listen to our referee.
During the return, blocking below the waist, on the receiving team, number 30, be half the distance from the end of the run, be first down.
So the ball will be placed at 11. They're saying that of course, it started back in 1925. They kicked from the 40. In 86, they moved it back to the 35. This year, they moved it back to the 30. And they said in the first week of the season, taking a percentage of what's happened, the ball has been starting at their own 29 as opposed to a year ago when the average starting position was their own 26-yard line.
And I think they're adapting to the game. Just like in golf, you have to adapt to new technology. These kids coming out of high school are bigger, faster, stronger.
Intercepted, possibly no, incomplete.
And they have the ability to kick the ball into the end zone because they're so much stronger. They're so much mature coming out of high school, and it's a specialty. So the game had to make some adjustments, and they pushed them back 5 yards, and it's already having an impact already.
It certainly is, and it's been very interesting to see how it goes through the rest of the season.
And I think teams will start the game plan now. Of course, defensive coordinators.
They're also running more plays with the rule change, too.
I think that, and go back with the time clock that they made as well. So, I mean, that's exciting. You know, offense puts people in the seats, and it also wins championships. You know, I think that. Although defensive coordinators always think they're always trying to make it easier for the offense. But offensively right now, in this football game, Sherrod Ellis, the preseason all-conference quarterback pick, needs to show some leadership and help his team get on the scoreboard. I mean,
but he also can't be running for his life.
He can't run for his life.
And he's got to get some blocking up front, too.
But in a game like this, you know, it's just a matter of who wants it more, and you got to keep fighting until something big happens. Look at what happened to Morehouse. They kept fighting, and early in the second half, I told you, it looked like King had a will. He just wasn't going to be denied. He came up with the big play. Sherrod Ellis needs to match his intensity.
And what's so interesting, they had 54 points in their first game against Lincoln University, 555 yards. And there it is, a 565 and 210 yards today. So about a 300-yard difference, although this game is not over yet. But again, the production, you got to look at who you're playing against.
And the question were those points fool's gold last week? And I think you could say they were fool's gold, because this doesn't seem like an offense that's going to be capable of putting up 400-plus yards of offense per game.
And, you know, we haven't seen them actually be effective running the ball. And last season, they were ranked 7th in run offense and #1 in pass and total offense in the SIAC.
Wow. The key is, I mean, you're last in rush offense.
Well, 7th out of 10.
Last. I mean, you know, that means, okay, you missed by 3 yards, but you're first in pass offense, but yet you were still first in total offense. So that means that you really had a great passing attack. I see no signs of that right now, and they've got some questions that need to be answered in terms of can they do it year in and year out.
Yeah. Well, join hosts Lowell Galindo and analyst Mike Gottfried and Tom Luganville for Inside the Polls, where you get the most in-depth look at the college football polls, plus a weekly Heisman Watch. All that and more on ESPNU Inside the Polls, presented by 76 Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Hey, Jay, you know, you're talking about Sherrod Ellis and the stiff competition he had in terms of the quarterback position last year in the SIAC. You had McCullum from Stillman College, Dupree from Morehouse, Huff from Tuskegee.
Stop right there. Huff from Tuskegee.
You like Huff?
I like him. He was the man.
Yeah.
Three-time player of the year. I mean,
well, Huff and Dupree are gone.
Yeah.
So he's got McCullum this year.
Kevin Huff was special.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a Division I type quarterback.
And a flag is going down. We may have a face mask here. Otherwise, it's going to bring up a 4th down because it was a loss on the play as Ellis was running for his life. Oh, you also have a kid at Tuskegee now who replaced Huff named Jakari Atkinson. Watch out for him, and Mike Woods at Kentucky State. So there's some good quarterbacks in this conference. And, of course, Carlos King, who's not doing a bad job for Morehouse today.
Yeah, he can run. You know, they really need to work on the running game so they can help with that spread offense. I think you have to utilize his feet a little bit better. He's never going to be comfortable in the pocket. I mean, if he's a senior right now and hasn't developed that knack for sitting in the pocket, you can't change him overnight with a new coach. So they need to focus on their running game with him.
Here you talk about Sherrod Ellis. His mom was
during the play, we have a face mask on the defense, number 26. That foul will be marked from the end of the run. Replay, 3rd down.
So it was incidental, so it's not a automatic. We're talking about Sherrod Ellis. You know, his mom was a pretty good basketball player at the University of Houston, Southwest Conference basketball player, Sonia Ellis. And, you know, I asked him yesterday, I said, I bet you couldn't beat your mom. He said, I could beat her now. He said, there was one time I couldn't beat her.
Oh, isn't that great? The moment as kids we realize we're better athletes. Not better, but we're better at that stage in our lives than our parents are. It's a great moment. Great moment.
Finally, huh?
Finally.
It is first. Make it still 3rd down. There's Johnny Cole. 3rd and 9. Facing the Dragons of Lane. They were breathing a lot of fire.
They better hurry up or they're not going to get this play off.
They're walking around like here at the mall. Lets it fly, incomplete. And a flag. We may got a late hit on the quarterback. I believe that's what we're going to get. And the late hit came from the strong safety, Gabriel Harper. Ellis got the ball off and trying to get it to his favorite receiver, Virgil Union. But Harper with the late hit on the quarterback.
Well, that's going to be costly because that's going to be an automatic first down.
Yeah, personal foul.
During the play, we had personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
So to keep the drive alive.
When you see him get out the pocket, let's take a look. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, normally they'll let you slide with one step, but you can tell from the angle in which he threw that ball, he took 3.5. and you know, he knew it right there. And that's just a cheap shot. You know, something like that can really cost. That one penalty right there, mark it. With this time we have left in the game, 9 minutes to go, that could be the key if Lane's able to mount a drive and could cost his team the ball game. Watch what happens.
He's moved to strong safety this year. Harper was a cornerback a year ago, and he came in with the blitz. In trouble. Oh, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. That's a fumble. Now, I don't know what Ellis was trying to do. It looked like he underhanded that and tried to get rid of it. Fortunately, that big 71, Nate Williams, was there to fall on it.
It looks like he just laid the ground on the turf. I mean, I see what you're saying. He turned his back to the defense, and they're coming. Once you get grabbed, you got to protect that football. And, you know, was he going to try and scoop it?
That's what it looked like he was doing there.
Got a little flustered, and the offensive line woes at Lane College continue. They can't protect the quarterback. They can't throw the ball effectively. They haven't been able to run the ball effectively. It's just been a bad day offensively for these Dragons.
2nd and 23. Marcus Adams in motion. In the end zone is where he's throwing from. Finally gets it out. Has it complete. Not enough for a first down, but they move it outside the 25-yard line on the catch by Robert Smith, the man who's been playing both offense and defense. You don't see that happening too much anymore, do you?
I like that. Takes you back to the days of Gordy Lockbaum playing both ways. Robert Smith is a linebacker / tight end, gets to the middle of the defense and gets an 18-yard reception to give the Dragons an opportunity for a makeable third down opportunity with 3rd and short.
3rd and 4. Adams in motion. Here's Adams out of the backfield, gets a block down the sideline, cuts it back inside, still on his feet, and he should go. Adams. I haven't seen a touchdown signal.
I don't think he made it.
It is. He's not. He didn't make it. He is short. Marcus Adams all the way to the 1. Boy, good defensive play by Morehouse, not giving up on the play.
Yeah, but you know, when it gets 4th down, it's just a matter of who wants to make a play happen. He catches his ball, and he would not be denied. This is effort. Turn inside. 1 defender missed. 2 defenders missed on the great cutback for the 3rd, and this should have been a touchdown. Right there when you're number 11, Donnie Moore. Go hit somebody hard, fella. Okay, he did, and it was great team pursuit. The Maroon Tigers wouldn't give up, but wow, he was this close.
Yeah, he could only hit one man. 71 yards on the catch and run by Adams out of the backfield. He gets it again, and they will not get in. They're close. Or Clayton. Or Strickland. It was Strickland.
They brought in Strickland for a little more muscle, and you know.
Ed Strickland, the junior from Carrollton, Georgia. Villa Rica High.
You know, that big run by Marcus Adams, I was wondering why he wasn't making up more ground. He's only 5'7", so his strides weren't that big.
No, but I'll tell you, got a great block from Robert Smith.
Yes, he did.
Right here to spring him loose about the midfield stripe. And then he got the block downfield by Rashawn Bruce, I believe, or was that Donnie Malone downfield that helped him get to the 1. But Donnie Malone could only get one person, so he didn't want to commit a penalty there.
Yeah, you know, that was it. But, you know, when the game's on the line and, you know, everything you've drawn up in your playbook is not working, you just need one of your big players to step up and make a big play. And you talk about Marcus Adams. They talk about how dependable he is. He's one of the best all-around athletes here. And just take a look at the cut here. I mean, once he gets in there in the cut, you know, like I said, he gets back outside. He's only 5'7", so it takes him 3 steps to go 5 yards. And
There's Donnie Malone, number 11. He picks off one man, but he couldn't pick off both of them.
Malone just got in the way of that missile that was coming.
As Brandon Morgan made the stop there. And here's the carry this time. And they finally signaled touchdown. I believe it was Strickland who took it in. Or was it the quarterback?
QB sneak.
Look at the president. He's filled with emotion.
Yeah, I thought he'd be a little bit more excited. Your team has a chance to go ahead at home.
That was Ellis with the run.
Wow, that was a great effort by Marcus Adams. Got to keep going back to that. You know, the transfer from the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, knows how to win football games, and that was just a tremendous job of getting your ball to a playmaker and letting the playmaker make plays.
94-yard drive. Now for the point after the ever elusive successful attempt at a kick today. We'll give Gutierrez a Big Mac if he makes this one.
Oh, it's good.
It'll make it 7-6. This is for the lead. The kick is up.
He made it.
It's good. That's been an adventure today, the kick.
He barely made that thing.
He certainly did. Well, he only kicked one in the first game of the season. That is Gutierrez. Sanchez kicked the other PATs. So they brought Gutierrez in out of Oakland Park, Florida. He puts it through, and we have a 7-6 ball game after a 94-yard drive. Lane finally getting something to cheer about. They lead it by 1 point. It'll be, if this score holds up, it would be the second straight week that Morehouse would have lost the game by 1 point. They lost by 1 point to Fort Valley a week ago, 16-15, and they're trailing by a point now. No scoring in the first 3 quarters. 2 scores here in the fourth quarter, or one in the second half. In the third quarter, Morehouse King's 54-yard pass to Stedman, then Ellis with the 1-yard run. This one's coming down to Olden at the 10-yard line. Olden out dances one player, still on his feet, cuts it back into the middle of the field, and finally is stopped, but not before he gets out to the 44-yard line. So a good return for Mr. Olden. So they'll start at their own 44. Don't forget, ESPNU delivers more action from the gridiron Thursday night. It's Texas Southern facing Jackson State. It's Thursday primetime college football presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on ESPNU at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be there for that one, and for more information, log on to ESPNU.com. A 26-yard return by Olden for Morehouse. So they have the ball at their own 44. They scored in their last possession, a 53-yard drive. So after everybody couldn't get anything going for a while, now all of a sudden they found some offensive rhythm.
They have. You know, the key for Morehouse is coming into this game, they've been outscored in the fourth quarter 22-9. So they've watched leads disappear, and they're not a fourth quarter team. Let's see if they're getting better, and they're starting to mature and play better in the fourth quarter.
This one knocked into the air, batted up high by the defense of Lane College. Harvey Scott, the strong safety, a preseason first team all SIAC selection, who led the team in tackles a year ago, came up with the batted ball. You know, we talked to Rich Freeman, and he said some of the things he tried to do in coming in on campus at Morehouse. One of them was football week.
Yeah.
And when you get a chance, we want you to talk a little bit about that.
Football week. Just remember, it's titled Football Week.
At Morehouse, on campus. King. And we're going to get a late flag, taunting.
That may help them out. You know, Morehouse needed some help because
Joshua Harris taunting.
The crowd got into this game in a hurry. You know, right now the crowd's into it, the team's excited, and this was the excitement that Coach Cole was hoping having ESPNU here on campus would bring from the beginning of the game. But now they're into it. Morehouse is in trouble. This could be dangerous.
Johnny Cole not happy with the late flag or the flag against his player for taunting.
At the end of the play, we have a personal foul, late hit, number 23 of the defense. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, first down.
That one I didn't see. I thought he was calling the taunting. He's calling it on Derek Shelton for a late hit. Let's see if we can see it here.
You see Shelton's there, and oh, wow.
Where?
He actually was diving over one of his teammates.
Yeah, I don't see that
view. He couldn't see it.
Yeah, I don't see that. That was
I could see how he called it, but if you didn't see him jumping over one of his teammates, you wouldn't see.
Yeah.
Because you thought he jumped in the air and landed on him.
But I thought it was a taunting by 19. Here's the screen, almost intercepted Big 55 got his mid on it. That's Clifton Stanford. Remember, he went out earlier with that cramp, and he's back in there, and he's creating some havoc.
Yeah, you know, and how do you do that as a quarterback? I mean, it's a screen pass, and you throw it right into the chest. I see the pump fake. Now, look, I mean, how do you throw this ball right to him? Did he not see him?
No.
3 yards away from him. He threw it right to his chest.
At the 41-yard line of Lane College, Morehouse has the ball first, make it 2nd down and 10. 2nd and 10. Carlos King has gone all the way except for a few plays when he had to sit down. It looked like he got his bell rung a little bit, and Chris Sterling came in. The King's back in there, and here's the handoff to Moore, and Moore is down to the 35-yard line before Derek Shelton made the stop defensively. A gain of about 6. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Derek Shelton's a little feisty guy on that corner. He likes to hit. He likes to get physical, and that's a good run stop in there. What you'd like to see is having a running back that's able to run through that tackle and make a big play.
3rd down. Loses running back on the opposite side of him. And they're coming. Long pass. Incomplete. Good battle downfield for that ball that hung up in the air for a little while. And again, there's Joshua Harris playing the part of the center fielder there, and the ball goes incomplete.
Well, you see there, this is just a jump ball, and the Morehouse wide receiver does a good job of playing. That's Quincy Avery, does a good job of playing defensive back and knocking Joshua Harris's hands away from this, because he actually had this interception in his hands, but
he was better at receiving it than the intended receiver, Avery.
Avery did a good job of restricting. Coach Freeman laying it on the line here, going for it on 4th and 5, getting late in this contest.
With 5:08 to go now, a timeout is going to be called, and we get a chance to talk a little bit about this football week that Coach Freeman has installed.
Now, we said it's called Football Week. Now, I want you to tell me, where's the football in Football Week when you're talking about a volleyball game against the cheerleaders from Spelman? You're talking about an ice cream social. You're talking about having a 50-yard line barbecue cookout.
But what you're doing is you're bringing the community into your program, and he does it at the end of the spring ball, just before the scrimmage.
Yes, and you know, and the cheerleaders involved in Football Week because they do the volleyball match against the cheerleaders. And you know, for those of you all wondering, this is Morehouse College. They don't have any women that go to this school. Those are the cheerleaders that come from
Spelman.
Spelman, right across the AUC. And what Football Week does, it gives the whole AUC an opportunity to get behind Morehouse football. You know, they're taking advantage of the things they have. They play football games at night at the AUC, which is the Atlanta University College Center, and they, you know, Denzel Washington bought lights so he could watch his son play at night. So now Morehouse is taking advantage of that, and they play night games. So that's how you get everybody involved down there in Atlanta. And you know, this is the program that's on the rise. You talk about Coach Freeman. You know, when you talk around the conference, everybody says nothing but great things about him. He's going to be coaching for a long time, and I think he's the guy that's perfect with the energy level because he's a native of Atlanta that can turn this Morehouse Tiger program around.
Well, some good coaches in this conference.
Yes, there are.
And has been for a long time. 4th down, though, and 5 facing Morehouse. May be the biggest play of the afternoon. Low snap. Quarterback decides to keep it and falls down trying to get something going. Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now watch the body English of the Morehouse players. See, you can't go off the field dejected because there's still 5 minutes left in the game. You need to tell your defense, get us the ball back. We can still win this thing. But the body English from Morehouse is saying, oh no. And it all started with a low snap. They're on the ground for a long period of time. And the turf eventually caught up with Carlos King and the running ability at an inopportune moment.
So they give it up on downs, and Lane, leading by a point, takes over at their own 38-yard line. Johnny Cole's team trying to make it 2 straight over Morehouse after they had lost 7 straight. Cole was 0-10 in his first year here in Jackson, Tennessee. Went 8-3 a year ago, and the quarterback is hit as he lets it go, and it hits one of the players out of bounds. And now the quarterback is a little slow getting up. That is Sherrod Ellis, as he's hit pretty hard by Earl Thomas, the linebacker out of Houston, Texas.
Yeah, he looks
yeah, well,
up.
He was
got caught up. He was rolling to the left and had to square his shoulders to expose all of his body. Take a look here. As he rolls to his left, he turns his shoulders completely to get around on that throw. And what happens there is when you hit the turf, it looks like that left shoulder got rammed into the turf. And that's just a football game, a football play. That happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing dirty about that from Earl Thomas.
No,
and that would bring in Dwayne Cross to take over the action here as you look at their president, Dr. Wesley McClure, who's since coming down on the sideline, they put some points on the board.
You need to start off the game now. You know, don't worry about the stands. You got. I'm superstitious. Go with what works. And you know, wow, what a game! You talk about two teams that have been putting it on the line and some hard hitting going on. You know, one of the few games I think we've called over the past couple of years where we've seen both teams back up quarterback.
He's holding his right shoulder. We hope it's not separated or dislocated, because that would be a big blow to this Lane team.
Well, this is when you need Dwayne Cross to just do the job, manage the clock. You know, California kid out here. Manage the clock. I would think you go to your top two running plays back to back so you can use the clock a little bit. Don't put Cross in any positions to lose the game for you.
And it's Keaton, the second back. And he was going to fake the pitch, or he was going to pitch it. Decides he's going to run it. And he's run down by the defense on the far side. Derek Scott, number 5 there to make the stop defensively. A gain of about 2 or 3 on the play.
Wow.
And let's look at it once again. Dwayne Cross, the sophomore from Riverside, California, who got a chance to play in their season opener against Lincoln because of the points that they were able to put up. And he ran twice for 20 yards and threw 5 passes, completed 4.
He won't play much if he keeps coming out going the wrong way. I mean, clearly everybody on the offense was going to the left. He thought it was going to the right. And as a backup quarterback, your number one job is be ready. You don't know when your number's going to be called, so that makes it more important that you're ready every play of the game.
Now timeout is going to be called because things just aren't right. And the man who's actually running the offense right now is Virgil Union. He said, so something isn't right here. Let's call a timeout. And Ellis, they're working on him on the sideline. They have his helmet off. They're working on his shoulder. It looked like he was holding his right shoulder at first, and maybe it's not even a shoulder. He may have just gotten the wind knocked in.
I thought it was the left shoulder. Because of the nature of which he was running, he was rolling out to his left and he crossed his body there. But, you know, it may be both. But either way, I mean, he took a tough hit. It looks like the right one. He's having trouble raising it. You know, and as we take a look at that, we got the replay, where, you know, as a quarterback, that's the dangerous part. Your body's completely exposed. You have to open up your body completely in order to get around on the throw. And it's good defense by the Tiger defender.
You know, you talk about Lane. They have 3 straight games here at home. As we look at that play once again before they hit the road. This is the second of the 3. So he got hit right under the right arm. Then he goes down and he rolls over.
It might have been the blow. The helmet was lodged in there from Earl Thomas on the right.
Pass, and it's a complete. No, they'll call it incomplete.
Wow.
One official calls it incomplete, and that was Union on the reception. Let's see.
We had the best angle. I thought he got underneath this pass.
Did the ball hit the ground? I couldn't tell. He had the ball, but it may have come out. Yeah, it may have come out. So that might have been a good call. 4th down, we'll call it 8. That'll bring on Gutierrez to punt it away.
You know, watch the snaps. Both teams, when they've snapped the ball on punts, have had very shaky long snapping. Look for Morehouse to go after the kick.
And he gets it off. Olden will not return this one. It takes a Morehouse bounce, and it'll be down at the 43-yard line. ESPNU College Football, presented by Citi. Let's get it done. Along with Jay Walker, Charlie Neal here in Jackson, Tennessee. 7-6 is our ball game. Next week, Lane will take on Langston right here at home in a non-conference game. And then they'll head on the road to play Central State up in Ohio. They have 2 open dates in September. They had one last week, and, you know, we talked to Johnny Cole about that. Did it help him or hurt him in terms of having that open date while Morehouse played 2 straight weeks in a row?
Yeah, so Morehouse came in here the sharper team, and where Coach Cole this squad still has to shake off some of the rust, and we see obviously that extra week didn't fare too well.
Next week, Morehouse travels up to Raleigh, North Carolina, where they'll take on Shaw. Of course, they're going to get off sides against Lane. Rich Freeman replaced Terry Buford, who was here a couple of years.
Prior to the snap, off sides on the defense, number 44, unabated to the quarterback. Still first down.
And there's the Morehouse schedule. They're in Raleigh. Then they go up to Concordia. They're at Alcorn, at Tuskegee, at Savannah. Do they ever come home?
Yeah, they are hitting the road.
And they don't come home till October 20th.
Wow. And that's just to have a homecoming game, I'm assuming, and they're back on the road again.
Yeah. That pass complete on the far sideline. And not much running room after the catch by Avery Quincy.
So if, you know, the key now is if Morehouse can get a field goal, keep in mind, you don't need a touchdown. If they can get a field goal, they're on the road. Lane starting quarterback, it seems to be done for the day. I don't think Sherrod Ellis is coming back. And if they can just get 30 more yards, this game is very winnable for the Maroon Tigers.
No, he's got his jacket on. He won't be back. King throws, and this is incomplete. Trying to get it to Hengy on the near sideline. Covered pretty good down there by Lane College's Derek Shelton. There he is with the jacket on, and he's trying to pump up his team and help his quarterback understand what's going on. The guy that's backing him up, and that's Dwayne Cross.
So, you know, he's out of it, and that's what you have to do is tough it out and hope your backup is ready.
3:32 to go. Morehouse trying to get the first down with the quarterback keeping the ball, and I believe Carlos King had enough surge to get the yardage needed to move the chains.
You know, what do they say? It's an old cliche, but wow, it comes back time and time again. You're only as strong as your weakest link. In the case of Lane College, they've got a lead trying to hold on, but there could turn out to be, if Morehouse can get a field goal, only as strong as the weakest link.
Well, we talked in the beginning. He told his team, that is Coach Rich Freeman, to play hard, play fast, and play smart. Last year, the team had what they call a split personality. King with plenty of time. Flag is down. Probably holding, should have been intercepted, and it wasn't. Right in and out of the hands of John Roden, the junior from Pembroke Pines. A transfer from Tennessee State, but the holding penalty is going to move it back anyhow.
During the play, have holding on the offense, number 77. That's 10 yards from the previous spot. Still first down.
Raymond Harewood, the preseason second-team All-SIAC selection, guilty of the holding call. And it moves the ball all the way back outside or inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. It is 1st and 20 for the Maroon Tigers with 3:06 to go, trailing by a point. He just threw that too high for Kelvin Moore.
You know, this is one of those times where you want Carlos King to settle down and play like, oh, who's that fella there? That's his quarterback coach.
Yeah.
Folks from Tennessee State will know him as the TSU legend, Leon Murray.
I did a number of, you know, it's interesting. I got to stop traveling around with people like you, Jay, because everywhere I go, you did my games when I was playing. I did Johnny Cole's games when he was playing at Texas Southern. I did Coach Freeman's games when he was at Tennessee State. Did your games when you were at Howard.
That's why you're the mayor.
Did Leon Murray's games when he was at Tennessee State.
You're the mayor everywhere we go. And Charlie, you know, hats off to you. I mean, I always, you know, joke you, but
you know what?
7 years in black college.
I'll tell you what gets me is when the kids, when they say, that's my dad. My dad's game. Now when when your son comes up and says,
and you're still calling games, Charlie, something's going to be wrong. I know that, but that's an honor. I mean, briefly on Coach Murray for those Tennessee State fans who want to know, he's still playing arena football, plays for the Philadelphia Soul. So, I mean, how great is that to have a active professional quarterback on your coaching staff? If you're Carlos King, you got to soak in that knowledge there and get some good things. And I know if Leon Murray was in this game right now, this game would be over.
No question.
It probably been over.
Well, Tennessee State had some great quarterbacks over the history of the organization. Junior Gilliam, and then you had
Eldridge Dickey
and Joe Adams, 747.
Adams, yeah.
They call him the 747.
They did, but right now, it's incredible. They still haven't been able to do it. Remember the last drive I told you body English was important? I knew that Morehouse was going to get another chance. .255. I think they want to put another second back on the clock. It says 2:54. Wow. You got to be kidding me. For that 1 second?
Yes. That could make a difference.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It took him 10 minutes to get the 1 second right.
Yeah, that's what they want. 2:55.
But the body English from Morehouse, like they gave up when they didn't get that fourth down. And they knew they were going to get another chance, and they just haven't been able to turn that switch back on. I want Carlos to take off running right now. Carlos,
but it's 3rd and 20.
Take off. Make it 4th and 10. Go.
Now he's got somebody open, and it's caught. Spun away. Still on his feet. At the 1-yard line, they run him out of bounds. Myrex Thompson coming out of the backfield. He's been doing it all day. They finally hooked up.
They missed on so many times by fingertips, and what a great job by Myrex Thompson. He was going to step up. He had room to run, but hey, guys wide open. Jay Walker doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me stick it in here to Thompson, and he did a great job of the run after the catch. When you know the kicking game's a little shaky, you got to do it. Hey, what does that do with your quarterback, coach? That's what I taught you.
Yes, right.
That's what I told you to do.
Leon says he's going. 53 yards on the catch and run. We have a player shake it up for Lane College. And that's Nicholas Davidson, the defensive end, who's down back at the 35-yard line. But the quarterback, Carlos King, had the presence of mind. You said you wanted him to run, but it was third and 20. I mean, he found Myrex in the seam, and Myrex Thompson. And Thompson, they have been trying to hook up all game long, and he's gone to him on the long play with him coming out of the backfield, and it hooked up when they needed to.
Yeah, I mean, that was the key. They kept going back to him. And Thompson, they've had matchup problems because he's had the ability to get open all game. But here's why. I thought he could have run and picked up 10 to 15 yards to make it a 4th down, a reachable one. But look at this. I mean, great hands and the concentration to hold on, absorb the blow, and then turn on the jets to make it a foot race. And great job by John Roden, the hustle to not just concede the touchdown, to make him have to think about it. But I mean, that's what we talked about earlier. This game's not going to come down to something that's drawn up in the playbook. That went out the window at halftime.
Derek Shelton was the man who hit him, and he spun away from and was able to get it down to the 1-yard line.
I mean, now's a question: do you want to score too quick?
Still 2 minutes and 42 seconds to go. Myrex Thompson with the big catch. 53 yards, takes them to the 1-yard line. And this time they go straight ahead, and it looks like a touchdown. And Kelvin Moore takes it in. Kelvin Moore. This is his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. Kelvin Moore, number 7, the senior out of Columbus, Georgia, from 1 yard out.
You almost wonder, and coaches will never, they say you can never do this, did they score too quick? In a game of chess like this, why not make Lane College burn one more timeout, or just take 25 seconds off the clock, run up there and take a knee? But I guess they're feeling, hey, we've got everything in our favor. We've got the backup quarterback in here, and this backup has not shown the ability for Lane to move the ball down the field in the series he was there, or even know his playbook for that matter. So
57-yard drive. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion right now. Myrex is in motion. Myrex Thompson, they're going to him, coming out of the backfield, and they get the 2-point conversion.
Beautiful.
Myrex Thompson, he takes him to the 1. Then he falls down on the track. They may have hurt himself a little bit sliding out of bounds there, but he gets the 2-point conversion.
Take a look here. Good old-fashioned get leverage on the guy and beat him to the corner. That's been a matchup problem all day. And you see him run a little bit too far. Be careful. Whoa!
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Yeah.
You're on cleats. You've got on cleats, and that
track is a little wet.
A little slippery, and you're on the road. You shouldn't be getting that close to the stands anyway. You never know what comes out of those stands sometimes. So.
And what had been a scoreless ball game until 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, we've produced 3 scores since then. King, a 54-yard pass to Stedman, made it 6-0 Morehouse. And then Lane came back with Ellis's 1-yard run, which was aided by roughing the passer penalty against Morehouse in a 71-yard pass play that took him to the 1-yard line before Ellis took it in. And then Moore with the 1-yard run after the 53-yard catch and run by Myrex Thompson.
Been a fourth quarter explosion.
Yeah.
These teams woke up, but, wow, people ask what I miss about the game. I wish. It's a moment like this. I mean, I wish I could be in Dwayne Cross's shoes. Everybody thinks this game is over with. You got a chance to come in and be a hero.
Or tie it up and send it to overtime.
Hey, score, be a hero. You can be a hero, you can be a GOAT. But the key is you have that opportunity. You couldn't get it when you're on the sideline. You're just a spectator. It's on your shoulders. You got to like that. These are the things that legends are made of.
Hold on to the ball, Perry.
Here's the return by Lane. Ulysses Perry on the return. Let's look at the key play for the last series. Here it is. Carlos King to Myrex Thompson. And tackle miss that time. And here's a touchdown by Moore. Kelvin Moore. They go for the 2-point conversion with Myrex Thompson taking it in. And they take the lead 14-7. They led 6-0. Lane came back and made it 7-6. And now with 2:31 to go, 74 yards away from pay dirt. And they have to score a touchdown and get the extra point. That is Lane. Pass is complete in the middle of the field. And it's Edward Strickland, the make that Brian Keaton, the running back coming out of the backfield. So the running backs are playing a very big role in the passing game.
Yeah, and that was actually, take a look at Lane's defense there. I mean, wow. 3 points allowed second half today, 14 points. So the question was, could Morehouse finish in the fourth quarter? Well, now it's going back, and this is an Olay block. You see, that's just not knowing your protection there. Brian Keaton, you've got to see that outside linebacker come in and hit your quarterback, but he sold out his quarterback for the opportunity to get the. See, as a quarterback, I would never reward bad behavior. If you get me hit, I'm not getting you the football. So he got away with it that time, but I wouldn't plan on making a living. Next time you hit that guy.
Tyrone Jackson was the man shaking up a little bit. The tackle, moved from the D-line. He's up at his first down after the gain on the play to Keaton out of the backfield. Here's the quarterback. He's going to take off and run. Makes a move right at the 40. Gets it up to the 41-yard line, and another 5-yard gain for Lane, and it'll be 2nd down and 5.
See, the honeymoon's over. What they did, Morehouse came out, played some very soft zone coverage, see if the young quarterback was going to shoot himself in the foot. Now he started running. They got a couple plays. They're going to bring some pressure. They're going to say, okay, we're not going to sit back and just let you get comfortable in the pocket.
And they throw it quick and almost intercepted. That could have been 6 for Morehouse, and there you could have turned out the lights if that one would have been taken in by Derek Scott.
Wow, this is what they want. They brought a little zone blitz there. You got 2 guys coming over there. QB throws it hot. Free safety comes down right in the bread basket. He just missed it. That could have been the clincher.
Yeah, Bruce was the intended receiver. In fact, he probably helped him from not intercepting because he did have his hand in there. It is 3rd and 5. Here comes the pressure. They tried to screen. That's a lateral. Hit the ball. And it's Morehouse's ball. It'll be Morehouse ball. That was a lateral. It went backward. Yes, indeed. At the 29-yard line.
The youthfulness and the inexperience at quarterback by Dwayne Cross might have cost his team the game. He was looking for the person to throw the screen pass to. The screener got knocked backwards behind the line of scrimmage, threw a bad pass, and that's bad football all around. If you're Brian Keaton, you have to go get that football once you miss. Know where you are. And if you're Dwayne Cross, you can't go to a screen that's been blocked and move backwards. Have that live football there. And he had an opportunity to do some good things, and looked like he'd watch it go by the wayside.
At the 29, they'll just run the clock out. That is Morehouse College as they try to improve their record to 2-1.
Wow, what a gutsy effort. You know, regardless of the outcome, what a gutsy effort by Carlos King. I mean, when things weren't going his way and I was on him.
Yeah.
And he stepped up and he persevered.
But that defense, yeah, and not only Carlos King did he play a good game, but you have to give credit to the defense of Morehouse College and George Copeland, their defensive coordinator, who did a great job.
Third and final timeout.
ESPNU delivers more action from the gridiron Thursday night. Texas Southern takes on Jackson State in a SWAC matchup. It's primetime college football on Thursday, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings on ESPNU at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For more information, log on to ESPNU.com. Jay Walker, Charlie Neal here in Jackson, Tennessee. And Lane College looks like they're going to go down in defeat, barring some miracle here. It's a big win for Morehouse, isn't it? Especially with the new coach coming in and some of the struggles they've had the last couple of years. They lost a week ago by just 1 point. They could very well be walking out of here 3-0.
Yeah, you know, and the players will start to believe in themselves. And a game like this is good because it's a conference battle. They lost. They were on the short end of the stick last week in a conference game versus Fort Valley. Come back this week, they could have given up. I mean, you know, when they did not get that fourth down when they were down by 1, they could have quit. But the defense, I'm really impressed with the defense that kept the spark alive and willed this team to victory.
And that's why I said that, you know, I wouldn't have my quarterback running at this point.
Not at all. Take a knee.
Yeah. I wouldn't have my quarterback even having the ball. And I don't know who this is going to go against. But, you know, you talk about the defense of Morehouse today and how well they played. You know, they held a team that scored 54 points in their first game to just 7 points today.
And for the most part of the game, they held them to nothing. You know, like my dad used to say, not nothing. Nothing.
Right.
Nate.
Well, this is a team, this Morehouse team, and you look at what a difference a year makes, or coaching staff. You know, they were last in scoring defense in the SIAC a year ago.
At the end of the play, I have unsportsmanlike conduct, number 2 of the offense. That's a dead ball foul. It's third down.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't even have him running the ball. But they were last in scoring defense. They were last against the run, and they were last in total defense in the conference a year ago. And so you see what a difference this year makes.
And the key is the scoring defense.
Right.
I mean, you know, this game ends the way it is now. They would have given up 37 points in 3 games. You're talking something around 10.2 points per game. You can win week in and week out if you got a defense. Yes,
right.
Great defenses go out there and tell the offense, give me 14 points and the game is over. And they're trying to establish that.
Yeah, they gave up 14 to Benedict. They gave up 16 last week, and they give up 7 today.
So I went to Howard. So 16 plus 14 plus 7 equals 37 points.
Hey, that's pretty good.
All right.
But you weren't a math major.
No.
It is under a minute to go. Play clock down to 0.
Why?
Well, at least they hand it off.
Why run it? Why not take a knee?
Yeah. I mean, you got to remember, Lane has no more timeouts.
Yeah. Why not take a knee? And, you know, another thing is, as a quarterback, what you can do, and you're in this situation, I wasn't a fan. I didn't want to keep my lineman down in that stance too long. You know, so I would break the huddle and tell everybody stand up. And we would watch 10 seconds go by and then come out the huddle and break it. You keep them in that
What I would do now,
seconds.
I mean, it's a 4-second difference, or about a 2-second difference between the play clock and the game clock. I would take a delay of game penalty.
Well, yeah, then you risk it of having to punt the ball away. You don't want to punt because they can block it.
No, it's 4th down.
It's 4th down.
I wouldn't take a delay. I wouldn't punt it. Why would you punt it?
Yeah, so the game clock still. So you got 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Now, what are you going to do on 4th down?
This is 4th down.
So what are you going to do on the play is what I'm saying.
Kneel down because the game's over.
But technically, if you kneel down, it could take a second. And they get the ball back at 1.4.
Yeah, but they, 0.9 now.
But now if it's 0.9, then go ahead and do it.
I think they're going to put some more time back on the clock.
I thought it should have been 2.4.
I don't know what he said, but anyway, they don't have a lot of time. I mean, you can run around back there for a second.
Don't want them doing that. I've seen crazy things happen.
Ask the New York Giants.
Ask me in high school. University High versus Reseda High.
Yeah, the Giants and Eagles. Now it's 3 seconds on the clock. It should be 2.4. I don't. He's asking for 2.4, our referee. But a good game for Morehouse to make the, like I said at the beginning, that 6-hour bus ride is going to be a lot shorter going home.
And they're going to stop by about 15,000 Waffle Houses on the way from here to Atlanta. And you can't stop by 2 let alone 2,000 before you got to pull over and get the chicken and eggs.
Well, you got a standing order already, Jay.
I start until the ball has been snapped.
You tell them don't start that clock till they snap the ball.
He knows where we are.
Yeah, lane clock keeper.
Now the key is if Carlos King, just take a snap, take one step backwards, and then take a knee. Don't go straight down. 1, 2, now fall. See, fall. See, he's doing too much now. All right, yeah.
Game's over. 14-7. Your thoughts, quickly.
I thought it was, we two teams that know each other well, two friends going against each other. Never exactly works the way you want it to be, but I'm very impressed with this defense for Morehouse. Lane College, you got a lot of work to prove on the offensive side of the ball to prove that you're a contender year in and year out.
Well, Morehouse scored first on a 54-yard pass. King to Stedman. Lane came back on an almost 1-yard run to take a 1-point lead, and then Moore's 1-yard run made it 14-7. The final score, Morehouse over Lane. For Jay Walker and our entire ESPNU crew, Charlie Neal saying so long from Jackson, Tennessee, and reminding you to log on to your online source for all things college sports, ESPNU.com. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Again, the final score, 14-7. Morehouse now 2-1 over Lane, who is 1-1. Good night.
From the time these two countries met in Group F, Ransford Assay with his 6th goal in 7 games. He's just one behind the leading goal scorer now, Corey Chrysanthus of Nigeria. And spirit in the 2nd period. And they really did deserve that equaliser. Leonte has been a force going forward as well for the West Africans. Celestita making 2 substitutions. They paid off as well. And Rennie Valath hoping to keep a clean sheet after his nightmare display against Nigeria. Beaten. Apare can't get past Rausch. And it's really turning into end-to-end stuff. Rausch sportingly knocks it out of play because Quansah is down injured.